Hello, this is Michael Paul. It is an honor to give the 2017 Masonic Society dinner lecture, even electronically. Before I say anything else, I would like to apologize for not being able to be with you tonight in person. It seems that nasty weather caused my airlines to cancel their flights to the area, but through the magic of technology, I hope that this recorded video, finished not very long ago, will be a suitable substitute for my being with you in person. This is the 9th annual dinner and meeting of the Masonic Society. What that means to me personally is that this is actually about 10 years since I was contacted by Most Worshipful Brother Roger Van Gordon. He said that he wanted to talk with me about an idea that he had come up with. He said that he wanted to create a new Masonic Research Society and asked if I was interested in being a part of it. I paid close attention to what Roger had to say, and I remember him telling me something that really caught my attention. He said that he wanted this new group to be the Time magazine of Masonic Research Societies. I thought about that and realized that this was a very good idea. I told him, yes, I want to be a part of this. For the next 6 or 8 months, Roger and this small group of starry-eyed brothers worked their tails off to create something out of absolutely nothing. Nathan and Chris laid out the foundation by putting together the website for the newly named Masonic Society. Chris then went to work on creating what would not only be an outstanding, but groundbreaking Masonic publication, the Journal of the Masonic Society. When everything was as close to ready as we could get it, we opened the online doors and accepted applications for membership. To our surprise, the response was overwhelming. Very quickly, the Masonic Society became a major player in the world of Masonic organizations. But everything that was thrown at us was not roses. There was some initial harsh criticism of nearly everything we did. I remember one particular criticism very clearly. We were told that we can't do what we were doing. The word can't was used with both meanings of the word. The first meaning was that we did not have permission to create the Masonic Society. The second meaning was that we did not have the ability to do what we said we wanted to do, meaning that we could not actually be successful in the creation of the Masonic Society. As to the comment that we did not have permission to create the Masonic Society, that was an interesting charge. It was not made clear exactly who was in charge of granting this permission. The only thing that we could think of was that it was Grand Lodges who had the final authority on granting such permission. To this end, Roger worked to show that the Grand Lodges that our goal was simply to lend assistance, provide education, and in any way possible be of service to the Grand Lodges. We were not intending on being any sort of problem to them or involving ourselves in any sort of manner with the business of Grand Lodges. With this assurance, we had no problem at all with most all Grand Lodges. This issue of permission went away. As to the charge that we could not successfully create a Masonic Research Society, well, we had no ability to see into the future. But since this is the 9th annual dinner and meeting, and since we have become a significant player in the world of Masonic organizations, I'd say that charge was wrong. Of course, will we still be here 15 years from now, 25 years, or even next year? I can't tell you. I can't predict the future. Just 2 days ago, I fully expected to be here in person delivering this lecture. Things can change quickly and sometimes dramatically. While we don't know and can't predict the future, there are things that we can do if we are responsible. What I'd like to do is talk a little about the creation of the Masonic Society in general terms, and try to look at how what we did can possibly help us, and really any Masonic organization, have a better chance of success in the future. The first thing we need to think about is that the Masonic Society was created by a small handful of dedicated Masons. None of us individually had all of the answers or all the talent to do the work on our own. But by working together, playing on the strengths that each of us had, and being absolutely determined to succeed, we did just that. We succeeded. I once read that sometimes successful people are too stupid to know that they're going to fail, so they succeed. Maybe we were stupid. I don't know. But I do know that we worked very hard on every aspect of the creation of the society, and with a very sincere desire that this should not only be a successful organization, but one that would provide legitimate service to its members. So what can we take out of this for the future leaders of the Masonic Society or any Masonic organization? Let me give you my ideas on things that we can do and things that maybe we should avoid doing. I believe that every successful Masonic organization needs to take a good hard look at itself and define itself. I don't believe that we do ourselves any favors by looking at ourselves through rose-colored glasses. We need to be dead honest with ourselves, and before doing anything else, know exactly who we are and what we are. One of the greatest problems I've seen with Masonic organizations is that sometimes they deceive themselves as to their actual nature. For example, it's okay if a Masonic lodge chooses to view itself as a small-time social club that only exists for the fellowship and entertainment of its members. But they need to acknowledge this and recognize their limitations. If such a lodge actually believes that it is a center of Masonic education and a place where one can receive true Masonic light, then it has deceived itself. It has made the worst kind of mistake. If a lodge knows that it is only a social club and is happy with that, then it may continue with no problems other than the occasional bringing in of a young man who actually seeks Masonic light. Such new members will quickly size up such bodies and walk before too long. If a lodge truly wants to be a center of Masonic education, then it needs to understand exactly what it is today, face that, and face the fact that it needs to become what it wants to be. I believe that a successful Masonic organization needs to provide a service to its members. The type of service that it provides depends on its nature. A social club needs to provide various forms of entertainment. A Masonic lodge needs to teach and provide Masonic education. When Roger mentioned that he wanted to create an organization that was to be the Time magazine of Masonic research societies, that said something to me. I understood exactly what he meant. He wanted a fully rounded organization that focused on education, entertainment, general interest, and maybe appreciation of art and literature. That was the initial identity of what we created, something that we felt would be of value to most, if not all, Masons. If at any point in the future we change what we do, then we have to understand that we will become something else. That's all well and good, as long as we serve our members, provide what is of interest to them, and fully recognize what we are changing into. I believe that another aspect necessary for a successful organization is to pay attention to its own goals and less attention to outside criticism or praise. We always need to be dead honest in our evaluations of ourselves, but we can't fall into the trap of being swayed by the opinion of others. For example, let's say that we walk into a room and everyone there is praising us up to the sky. It feels good. It lifts us up. But once our feet are up, off the ground, lifted up by such praise, we are no longer grounded in reality. We can lose our sense of balance. At such times, we should think to ourselves, yes, there's a lot of praise going on here, but there are also those who criticize what I'm doing. It's the same as if we walk into a room where everyone is criticizing us. We go down into what feels like a hole in the ground. At such times, we need to think, yes, no one here likes what I'm doing, but there are others who praise this work. This is how we achieve balance. We need to understand exactly who we are in all honesty and keep focused on our goals and not distracted by either outside praise or criticism. A successful organization is one that plays to the strengths of its members. To be of true value, you must know the subject of what you're trying to do. If you need brain surgery, you are not going to get much help by going to an auto repair shop. By the same turn, if your car breaks down, bringing it to a brain surgeon will most likely not solve your problem. We all have talents, but if our talents are misused, then we cannot expect a successful experience. Each type of organization requires a certain set of skills necessary for the successful operation of that organization. Even if we know exactly who we are and what we can do, if the ones in charge are not completely dedicated or do not have all the necessary skills, then the organization is in trouble. A successful organization pays close attention to its members. If an organization becomes detached or disinterested in its members, then a them and us situation is created. The organization no longer serves its members, but develops the opinion that the members serve the organization. Such an upside-down understanding of itself helps no one. We are here to serve. We are here to teach. If we accept money from our members, then we owe them something. The greater our title, the greater service we should provide. Egos are our death. In New Orleans, there are 10 lodges which comprise the 16th Masonic District of the Grand Lodge of Louisiana. These 10 lodges work in the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite craft ritual. Like all Masonic craft rituals, the legend of Hiram plays an important part. But in these lodges, the 3 bad guys represent something interesting. They represent 3 human failings: ignorance, falsehood, and ambition. Think about it. If someone is ignorant, how can they teach? If someone is given a job and they are ignorant as to how to do it, can we expect good things or bad things? One who is ignorant needs to be taught before it can be of value. One who chooses to be ignorant will remain of no value. One who is ignorant because he was never taught or chooses to remain ignorant and is then placed in any leadership position of an organization is a sure sign of an ignorant and failing organization. The second human failing is falsehood. If we build on a foundation on anything other than truth, then we cannot expect any sort of sound building. A falsehood may exist because one is either ignorant of the truth or because of the willful spreading of known falsehoods. Regardless of the reason, falsehoods in no way build us up, but dramatically tear us down. The third and most deadly failing is ambition. Coupled with ignorance and falsehood, ambition is the final ingredient to the destruction of everything we are taught is of value in Masonry. If these 3 human failings work their way into any Masonic organization, then its future is at best bleak. So what's the future of the Masonic Society? Well, it's up to us. As with everything in life, we have choices. Every day that we open our eyes can bring us new problems or benefits. Many things happen that are completely out of our control. Look at this present situation. I was packed, had my ticket, and was completely ready to come to Masonic Week, but I had no control over the weather or the airlines that canceled my flight. We couldn't control that, but we can control ourselves. We got together and figured out a way to have this lecture in the best way possible given the circumstances. A successful organization needs to be flexible. It needs to be able to change on a dime. A successful organization needs to put everything in perspective. Its leaders have to have a clear mind, know their organization inside and out, objectively analyze their own abilities, and be willing to serve its members to the best of their ability. It's said that talent is mostly hard work. I believe that. The Masonic Society was created by a lot of talent through hard work. The future of the Masonic Society will depend on the determination, attitude, and talent of its future leaders. I was deeply honored to serve the Society as its second president. I'm doubly honored to now serve as the editor of the Journal of the Masonic Society. This publication was created by the inspiration, creativity, and impossibly hard work that Chris gave to not only the Masonic Society, but the whole of Freemasonry. As to our future, I believe that our future will be whatever we decide it will be. I believe that our future will be bright. Brother President, this concludes this presentation. Thank you for giving me the privilege to be able to speak with you today. I'm sorry I could not be in person. Thank you all.